Let's go back to KwaZulu-Natal. The government there is hosting a two-day conference on the state of the province. They're also setting out their priorities for the 7th administration. But as the government there begins its work, it's already asking for a state of disaster declaration. And this follows well-documented numerous natural disasters this year. Ahead of that conference, we're joined by Karinda Jagmohan. Karinda, good morning. There's a lot of balancing that needs to happen. We look at the parlor state of the province's finances, which is why this request is coming forth, but also a province that just can't seem to catch a break when it comes to the weather. Tell us more.
Absolutely. You rightly said, a province that can't seem to catch a break. It's been a number of natural disasters since we have seen, especially the 2022 floods, which Iman at that time was touted as one of the 10 most expensive climate change disasters in that specific year around the world. So since then, while KwaZulu-Natal has been in several state of disaster declarations, again, there's another request. And of course, today is a meeting with various government officials to talk about the priorities going forward, but at the same time with the challenges that it's burdened with as a province, a coastline province. And the Premier, who's just arrived as well, who's been here, Thami Ntuli, thank you so much for your time, sir. As you try and put hope into your administration here, you're also under the burden of what we have seen with these various disasters, waiting for some financial relief. So in that sense, have you heard anything from COGTA? And going forward, what's your plan to speak to your colleagues today?
Well, on the disaster, good morning first and foremost to yourself and to the viewers at home. First and foremost, on the issue of the disaster, we applied to the National COGTA for the declaration of the state of disaster to the areas that were affected, with the hope that will trigger more support because people who have lost everything that they had, they need to rebuild their lives, supported by a government, and we are quite hopeful that there will be light soon at the end, because even the state president, in his State of the Nation address, he highlighted the importance of coming on board, and he personally gave me a call responding to what happened in the province, and we are quite hopeful that the intervention that we have already started to make, because there is a lot that we are doing in the areas that are affected by the disaster to try and help people to rebuild. Well, coming to the today's important Lekgotla, we will be actually making serious consideration on the breakthrough in terms of what people of the province expect from us as government, because you understand the situation outside there, and it's quite very important that whatever that will transpire here must find expression also outside. People must find something that will inspire hope for the prosperous of a province, wherein the issue of our economy can again, in fact, start to present new opportunities, and we are hopeful that the vision that we uphold as the Province of KwaZulu-Natal will keep us together, focused on what are the needs of the people of KwaZulu-Natal.
So before we leave, KZN carries a lot of weight nationally in terms of both the political environment as well as the economic contribution. So as you start, this administration, you have started, what are the urgent things you want to change within provincial government?
The first important thing which we believe is the issue of security, safety and security, the stability in our province, because everything is centered around that. The investors, in fact, will find it quite very easy and comfortable to invest in a safer and stable environment. And when investors are actually encouraged to participate in our province, you know that more opportunities will open up for the people. But we also believe that we need in our budgets to ensure that we spend a lot of money supporting the SMEs, those traders who are trading down there on the ground, so that we will not find too many people migrating to the urban areas. I think that is what is at the center. The issue of job opportunities is really, in fact, worrying.
Yeah. Premier, thank you so much for your time for outlining this. And of course, we're going to hear more about this in your opening address in a few moments. Actually, Premier Thami Ntuli for KwaZulu-Natal, they're outlining especially the importance of security. KwaZulu-Natal is one of the provinces where you see almost every day brutal, alarming concerns about brutal murders that can happen in far-fetched areas of this province that sometimes go even unreported, but those that news emanates. The issue of job opportunities, something that every young person we've interviewed has spoken about, the access to jobs. But all of this, while trying to create the budget for it, comes in the face of just ongoing natural disasters. We're still waiting for a response in terms of the state of disaster request, which will ultimately see easier access to emergency relief funds. But that request and declaration has been made a number of times, yet the disasters continue. So we're also looking now for some kind of permanent grant as well that can be perhaps given to coastline provinces, something that the Kokta minister, newly appointed, spoke about last week, and we'll see whether that actually unfolds, as is possibly necessary in this time of climate change.
Jagmohan, thank you very much. A great deal of strategic agility is needed, not only in KwaZulu-Natal, other provinces as well, where there are myriad convergent challenges that do need money and resources. Karinda Jagmohan there, live for us from KwaZulu-Natal.